Hi everyone, my name is Sabrina Mir and I'm a teaching assistant with the Young Scientists Program at USC. Welcome to week 4 of the special education YouTube videos. This week we'll be talking about energy and collision. Before we begin learning about energy and collisions, I want you guys to pause this video and write what you already know about energy. Have you ever heard of the terms potential and kinetic energy? Go ahead and pause this video and write down something. So potential energy is the energy stored in something that isn't moving. So for example, if I hold something in my hands up here and don't release it yet, it has a bunch of potential energy. So it has the potential to move or do work. The difference between this and kinetic energy is that kinetic energy is the energy when an object is moving. So for example, if I were holding something up here and I dropped it, when it's moving, that's all kinetic energy. If I took a ball and rolled it down the side of the road, that is also kinetic energy because the object is moving. So potential energy is the energy that's stored in something that's above the ground and hasn't been dropped yet or hasn't been moved yet. But kinetic energy is when something is moving. So we're going to be doing a ton of different experiments today to talk about kinetic and potential energy. The first experiment will involve dropping two different kinds of balls. One is a ping pong ball and one is a golf ball. In that clip, I dropped a red ping pong ball, which is lighter on the left, and a yellow golf ball, which is heavier on the right. And you can see here that the yellow ball bounced higher because it is heavier. So if you compare these two pictures, you can see that the ping pong ball was slightly lower than the golf ball on the right. The next experiment will involve hitting the balls together. So you're going to start with a ping pong ball on one side and a golf ball on the other side and hit them towards each other and see how much one moves back. This is actually the measure of something called momentum. So momentum is the measurement of a mass in motion, so the object that is moving. So it's this basically kind of the strength of the moving object. Something that's heavier will have more momentum. So in this case, the golf ball, which is heavier, will have more momentum. Here I'm hitting the red ping pong ball against the yellow golf ball, and you can see that the heavier yellow golf ball will have more momentum and will end up pushing the ping pong ball away. Let's talk a little bit about the different places that we saw kinetic and potential energy in these experiments. When we were dropping the ping pong ball and the golf ball, before we dropped them, when we were holding them in our hands above our heads, that had potential energy because it hadn't moved yet. But when you dropped it, when it was falling, that was all kinetic energy because it was moving. And with the momentum in the ping pong balls, when you hit the balls against each other, when they were moving, that was all kinetic energy stored in the ball. The diverse scientist for this week is a woman by the name of Shirley Jackson, who is the second African-American woman to get her PhD in physics in the United States. In 2002, she was named one of the 50 most important women in science by Discover magazine. She did a lot of her research on something called subatomic particles and worked a lot with different presidents of the United States. For example, our former president, Bill Clinton, in 1995 made Shirley Jackson the chairman of the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission. She also served former President Obama on the Council of Advisors for Science and Technology. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next week for week 5 of the special education YouTube videos.